Right, welcome back, listeners, to another show of Heads Up. And last week we had a terrific meeting at Hastings. Melody Bell, Advantage, and lots of other good horses winning. And there was a bit of an on-pace bias there, which did favour quite a few runners that were on the pace, and anything coming off the pace, like Savvy Cope, were good runs. But Money Shot, you weren't there, but what was your take on the day at Hastings last week?
Yeah, well, I watched most of the replays after Saturday. First things first, Neil, I think we both got it well wrong with Melody Bell. We thought 1600 would be a question mark for her, but she just literally blew them off the racecourse and had the run, though, and managed to get up into that trailing spot, which is a lot easier to perhaps extricate yourself from than three back the fence. But beautiful ride. But the way she won, no excuses really for anything in behind.
From a Livermore point of view, anything that struck your eye?
Well, you'd say Savvy Cope and Scott Pace still. Savvy Cope, everyone saw her finishing well. Scott Pace didn't get all favours, lost momentum coming down the straight and just before the straight. So you wouldn't discount him, but yeah, full credit to Jamie Richards and the team at Te Akau with Melody Bell and Avantage, who looked beaten at the 150 but fought back like a very good filly.
Yeah, no, terrific one. The only problem was that they both get back, Scott Pace and Savvy Cope, and with no back runners looking like any chance on last Saturday. And there's not a lot of pace in the Livermore, so it's going to be interesting to see how that pattern plays on next Saturday. Going to be a great race there. Now the NRL, you bang on last week with the Storm and Roosters, giving the points away at the start, and they look pretty easy. Any thoughts on those games?
Oh, they were, as we expected, good hard-fought games of league. But yeah, they meet in the final this week, so that'll be a tough game to pick, you'd have to say. We'll preview it in part 3. I enjoyed it. I'll tell you what I enjoyed. We'll talk about this in part 4 actually, but good to go to some Heartland Rugby at Tikawiti, Neil, is where I was last Saturday, so it was good. And while I was there, I had to pay you out a chocolate fish when Big Mike beat home Nymph Monte. Nymph Monte, never a hope, being so far back in that race, and Big Mike looked like it was going to be winning.
Yeah.
Just got nuffed again.
It was a good race, that one, and Big Mike on the turn there looked likely, but just went a bit too hard and set it up for those closes. Right, back with part 2 in a sec.
Part 2 of Heads Up, Neil, we discuss a couple of races, and the meetings of interest are at Avondale and New Plymouth tomorrow, and we'll kick off with Avondale race 6. The Open 1200, and I think you've got some breaking news potentially for this race.
Yeah, Love Affair, they mentioned on the final call this morning, that she is likely to be scratched. Andrew Forsman said she may be safe for Hastings next Saturday, which does make sense, a better race, and she does go well fresh, so you might as well make the most of it. So with her coming out at, paying $2.40, it's about a 33% deduction, I worked it out to be. So, Living on a Prayer, I think, has got to be the way to go now with her out of the race. It's going to be a decent tempo, isn't there, with Rich Billy Marsh kicking along out in front. 2 kgs off, she'll make them work all the way. So, need a bit of fitness on your side. And I thought Living on a Prayer at Hastings was pretty good, winning that second to Te Akau Shark.
That's right. Now, let's just give the listeners a bit of an education lesson here. How Neil calculated the 33% deduction. It's pretty simple. 80 divided by the dividend. So 80 divided by Love Affair's dividend of $2.40 is 33.33. So every price of the other horses will get deducted by that much. So that's a little lesson there. Sorry I digress, Neil, but we're here to educate our listeners as well as in try and tip them winners.
Yep.
Pace will be on.
Definitely.
Gee, I just thought, I'm annoyed when now that you've told me that. I thought Love Affair was just an absolute moral, but something else will be winning. Probably Living on a Prayer. gets in very nicely at the weights, and certainly he's gone some big races in its career, and I know been unlucky a few times, and trainer Wayne Hillis hasn't been afraid to shirk good company, so looks the one, but yeah, that race sort of taken a bit of the gloss off it if Love Affair is indeed scratched.
Yeah. Now she'll pay, with that deduction, living on a Prue will come down to about 250, so if you're going to have a big punt on, I'd just wait until you know for sure Love Affair is coming out, because if they were going to scratch it, you think they would scratch it this afternoon, but she hasn't been at the time of publishing this heads up, so wait and see. And Rich Billy Marsh, could, if there's an on-pace bias, leader's bias, she could be hard to run down.
Surely not.
For a place, you say, 550 a place, you never know, that type of thing. But Untamed Diamond, trialled nicely, and Drawn 2, that's probably the one to beat. And Ronke too, but I mentioned Ronke. I was able to see his jump out, which is great to see, at Pukekohe a couple of weeks ago on YouTube. Yeah, it was terrific, just hitting the line nicely. And need the run, but
hopefully he clears the gates well. That was his problem last season.
Sure was.
Just couldn't get out of those gates. He's got all the untapped ability in the world, but just needs to be on terms with them after 50 metres, not 2 or 3 lengths behind them.
Yeah.
But no, it should be. Weather pattern looks pretty settled for Auckland. So track currently, I think a dead 5, probably be into a dead 4, maybe get to a good 3. But nice to have a good track for everyone to come out and show their wares on. New Plymouth, it's Extreme Race Day. They've certainly an innovative club. Some of their innovations at this meeting perhaps have gone down a little bit not so well with some of the trainers and whatnot with their reverse ballot system for some of their Rating 65 races, but it's always an interesting race day. You got the Greys race, you got the longest flat race in New Zealand, you got the Jack Russell dog race for a bit of a laugh as well, so plenty on at New Plymouth. And the Greys race is the first race we'll focus on, race 5, Neil, and I think your bet of the weekend is lining up here.
Yes, Stratocaster, I think it's really well placed here. It's won in fast times over 1400 metres, and you had to be impressed with the way it hit the line at Hastings last week. Ran home in 33.58, I think, was from memory, and 10.81 for his last 200 metres. And nothing in this race is capable of doing that. And third up, and they could have held off until next Saturday at Hastings. There's a 1400 metre open handicap there for 70 grand. But they've done the wise thing, found the weaker field with the Greys race, and a bit of a looking horse, relaxes nicely. The only negative is it'll get back. I'm mapping about 6th outer, which is not too bad. I think King Seagull to slide forward, Mon Recur, Lily Thunder, maybe Wrangler out wide. So the harder they go, the better his chances. But if they don't go hard, I still think it'll win. It's just got too much speed. Once it gets out and balanced up, it'll just go bang and get past them. Bring to the blocks probably the hardest, and Mon Recur. But I just think he'll have too much speed down the straight. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm in your camp. Very impressed with the run last Saturday, and by all reports has trained on very well. Trainers are very happy with the horse, and as you say, catches the right race here and gets in nicely at the weights with our King Sway in there, so compressing the weights a little bit and meets some of those horses on the minimum pretty well off. So Stratocaster for me as well. You won't be getting a chocolate fish out of me on that race, but I think we might be able to come up with a bit of a outside the square chocolate fish head-to-head bet in the Extreme 3210 race at New Plymouth, race 7 on the card. You're going to tip out something at a double figure price. Yeah,
I've gone through this field and I sort of liked Where Are You, but she's okay. She's drawn wide, have to work somewhere, but I feel like a horse called Big Red Moon. Won an R65 race, 2 starts back at Awapuni. What I like too, he settled much better in that race. Second outer, hit the lead 600 metres out, kicked and just kept going. And I think that was because he settled better. Then he won at Wanganui over hurdles, once again over 3,000 metres, settled well, slower tempo. So I think he'll slide forward, get on the pace, and rock hard fit. Gail Temperton, really like her as a trainer, especially in staying races. No, I thought I was 14 and 450. I'll be on him each way. But you're keen on something else?
Well, I'll just take you on for a chocolate fish. I won't say I'm keen on it, but I'm keen to take a chocolate fish off you. And I'm an honest sort of bloke, so I don't want to tip out something paying half your quote.
That's right.
So I'll choose number 11, Master Poet, at $13 on the final field market to go head-to-head and beat home Big Red Moon.
Yeah. You're right.
Just for a bit of an interest. 34 starts for 2 wins doesn't inspire you too much, but the last couple of efforts have been pretty solid. Master Poet. So we'll see what happens there. Plenty of other good racing that you'll preview, Neil, both in New Zealand and Australia. They'll all be up for subscribers to get involved with later tonight, will they?
Yeah.
Early tomorrow?
I've got about 9 races up there at the moment. A couple from Australia, 7 from Avondale and Taranaki, and finish those off later on this afternoon and tonight. Really concentrating on finding horses that are mapped to get a winning run and also well placed to win, in terms of weights, times, fitness, etc. So if you do your homework, they say the harder you work, the luckier you get. So hopefully we get that tomorrow. Rightio, back with the sports preview. I'm looking forward to that in a sec. Okay, Money Shot, you called it exactly last week how it should work out. So you've got a pretty good feel for these two teams and how they're going to play and how they do play and how it may pan out on Sunday night. And so what do you think? Close game, low scoring game? What do you suggest for the bet?
Before we get on to the actual game, Neil, what was it, Tuesday night, the market moved. The Roosters basically went from $2 to $2.25 on the basis of one player being made available. Billy Slater cleared to play. So there was a massive move for only one player.
That's right.
You always kind of knew he was going to get off, didn't you? At the end of the day, the NRL's a business. They're in the entertainment business, and if they can find a way to let their star players and fairy tale ending subjects play in a game, they'll do it. So I think that'll motivate the Roosters just as much, just quietly. If you put a gun to my head to see which team will win, I'd probably say the Roosters.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be backing them with extreme confidence. I think the best bet in the game is probably the try-bet option. So that's option 2009, where you can either choose Sydney 7 or over, Melbourne 7 or over, or either team to win by 6 or less, or the draw. And that's the way I'm favouring a tight clash between these two teams. So it's paying $2.40 if it stays within a converted try to either side. So you've sort of got a 12-point window there, Neil, that you can fall into. So not too bad, I thought. They're pretty evenly matched, these teams. Obviously, Melbourne are now slight favourites. But, yeah, I think the market may be overreacted to the news of Billy playing. But, yeah, it'll be a good game. Looking forward to it.
And I think, with the total combined points was 30 the line was 32.5, so it's going to be a close game, obviously, so that betting option sounds like the right way to go. So,
we'll know after the event. But
that's right.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're keen on a game on Sunday as well, rugby game on Sunday. Can you give us...
Yeah, so Hawke's Bay travelled down to Canterbury to play them in the Mitre 10 Cup. Hawke's Bay have come off a hard game against North Harbour on Saturday. Yeah. A tough game against Northland on Wednesday. And they've got Canterbury, Manawatu and Tasman to go. And basically, if they can win one of those games, they should get a home semi. So I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist to work out which of those 3 games is the most likely they think they can win, and that's Manawatu at home next Friday. So I wouldn't be surprised, given the big workload of 3 games in 8 days, Hawke's Bay don't rest some of their players on Sunday against Canterbury. And Canterbury, they haven't been overly convincing this year compared to previous seasons, but are still right in the hunt and will be keen to win this game to get a home semi, and they'll want the bonus point as well. And I think they'll run rampant on a nice, dry Sunday afternoon in Christchurch, and they'll probably win by 40 points, I'm predicting, Neil.
Gee.
So you got two options you can look at. Point start, just the traditional line. The point start is 15.5. Canterbury minus 15.5 at $1.87. Looks pretty solid if you follow my theory that Canterbury will win by 40. Or you can go to the alternate point start market, where there is a selection. Canterbury minus 35.5. So that's to win by 36 or more, paying $7.
Shivers.
So if you want to be bold or not so bold, or you can choose in between. There's a 30.5, a 25.5 and a 20.5 point start option in that alternate point start market as well. So yeah, I'm pretty bullish on Canterbury to give Hawke's Bay a bit of a toweling on Sunday afternoon. You though, Neil, one of your favourite sporting events every 2 years is rolling around this weekend. I'm predicting you'll be glued to your TV from about 6 o'clock at night through to about 3 o'clock in the morning, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights, watching the golf, the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, it's going to be great, isn't it? It's going to be a long night coming up, especially that last night if it's going to be close. But you think the USA would have the edge, but Europe, there's some good match players in there, and I wouldn't have a bet until maybe the last day and just see how it goes and just enjoy the golf in between now and then. If it's close, it's probably the best sporting event in the world to watch if it's coming down to the last few games in the last couple of hours. So, yeah, keep your Monday night or your Monday mornings free. I think the last night is Monday morning.
Normally 3 days, the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah,
Sunday.
No, that should be good.
Too right, yeah. Okay, nothing else for sporting events we can mention?
Well, the only other, I'll mention it here rather than in bats and bouquets, but afternoon rugby, 2:30 kickoff, sunny, daylight.
Yeah.
Why don't we have more afternoon rugby in New Zealand at Super Rugby and international level? Why are we bowing down to the television rights, demanding the game start at 7:30 in the middle of winter, cold, dark? I just think, having sat in Peakawitty last weekend, afternoon rugby, we need more of it. That's my thought.
No, I actually agree. My daughter's partner came down last winter, and it was an afternoon game here at Tauranga, and went out and watched it, and it was just really good. It was a nice, reasonably warm day, not too cold, and wasn't wet, slippery, and anything. It was just a terrific afternoon. So yeah, I agree with you. I'd like to see that more. I'd go myself actually. If there was a game on a Sunday afternoon somewhere, you could go to. But no.
If there was a 2:30 game, even if the All Blacks played at 2:30,
yeah,
people would still go out afterwards and have a dinner out after the game and a few drinks and whatnot. I think it's not going to inhibit the experience of the overall weekend away to go and watch the All Blacks play or whatever. And the chances are the quality of rugby will be a lot better with those underfoot conditions, etc.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sure the powers that be won't be listening to this podcast now, so it will fall on deaf ears.
You never know. Maybe just once a year, just have one test in the afternoon, even if it's in Australia in the afternoon, or I don't know. But yeah, no, point well made. Okay, back with part 4 with a bit of this and a bit of that.
We'll wrap up this week's Heads Up podcast, Neil, with our brickbats and bouquets. Do I dare mention that word to you, jump outs?
J word. Well, I've been tweeting frequently this week about that. Got some good info too about, excuse me, the Pukekohe Park jump outs. They've actually done a video of their last jump outs. I'll cut that out. Bloody hell, I have to have a drink. And they showed all the jump outs from Pukekohe, the last jump outs there. Even though it was a long distance shot, you could see the last 100 metres or so and identify the horses and see how they were hitting the line with good accurate results as well. So that was great. And so it's not hard to do. Crikey Dick. And there were 12 horses I tweeted out racing at Waipukurau on Thursday. A couple placed at really good odds and one almost won the last race. You couldn't see those jump outs from Levin. And if people could see them, they'd probably back them. So that's turnover. We're missing out on it. And as
Bernard Saundry said, 6 cents in the dollar.
Yeah. If we bet on New Zealand horses and on New Zealand gallops, that's the best way we can make money for New Zealand racing. So how do you do that? You encourage people to give them the information to have a bet. If the information's not there, you won't bet, you go elsewhere. And that's what we did on Thursday. So not hard to do. Can we just please get it sorted out, Levin? Not hard to do. Anyway, last week's winner in the comp was response.
How did we go? So it was a bit of a trick question in a way.
It was, yeah.
2015 Windsor Park Plate winner. Wasn't run at Hastings, if you remember. That was the year when the races got cancelled halfway through the day and the meeting was abandoned and the Windsor Park Plate was rescheduled till after the Livermore on, I think it was a Labour weekend at Trentham, and a horse called Julinski Prince won it.
Yep.
And did we have any clever clogs who managed to get that answer, Neil?
Yeah, well, you couldn't fool 7 of them, so...
Oh, okay. So we've got 7. What are we playing for? Was this a $20 multi, wasn't it?
$20
from
multi.
memory?
Yep.
All right, you got the names listed there. I'll choose a number between 1 and 7, and I will choose 5.
5. Jason P. Well done, Jason.
Well done, Jason.
Long-time subscriber. I'll get in touch with you tonight and let us know your bet, and I'll put it up on the website tomorrow. You can do that as a fixed odds bet or on the tote. Sometimes you're getting better on the tote. Or I can just do it separately. It's like if you want a all-up tote bet on something here in our country onto something in Australia on the tote, I can do that for you, so keep that in mind. Right, this week's question, what do you got lined up for us? Not an easy one here.
I think it's time, Neil, we start making these questions pretty hard. We keep them pretty easy. I'm going to ramp it up a bit.
Okay.
This century, so we're not having to go too far back. There was a horse that ran third in the Extreme Race 3210 flat race at New Plymouth. That was in late September.
Yep.
In mid-November, went on to win the New Zealand Cup. We want to know the name of that horse, who only could run third in the Extreme Race at New Plymouth, but won the New Zealand Cup. And there's a clue for you. His mother won a Wellington Cup. So the stained blood was running through his veins. So we want to know the name of that horse. I'm not going to give you any more clues. If you know the answer, or you can figure it out. We don't like questions that are Googleable, so this one I don't think will be Googleable. So if you can work that out, email or text the answer to Neil and you could be next week's winner.
Yeah, 027 352 6402 or formpro at formpro.co.nz. Do that by Monday night and you'll be in for another multi next week at Hastings, where we'll do a live video cast from the track. What else?
Maybe with our own photographer, with our own videographer too.
Oh yes, we've got.
We could have movement in our.
We could.
Rather than just on a stationary camera.
Yeah,
could be good.
Yeah.
Could be good. Watch out next week.
Yeah, no, and only a few showers forecast during the week, so hopefully it'll be a dead or better track. Looking forward to that meeting, and some great fields by the sounds of it coming up too. Really good horses. Can't wait. I'll be there. Now the punt of the year. Got any news on that?
Well, it's 31st running of the Bayford New Zealand Punter of the Year.
31st.
I think there's going to be well in excess of 120, 130 teams by the sounds of it. So I think, Neil, it would be remiss of you if you didn't give the Form Pro subscribers an opportunity to be part of a team in the Punter of the Year. No,
as I mentioned last week, I'll definitely do one, so I'll put that up on probably Monday night. I'll put on a fair chunk of it myself and then sell off some shares in that, and I'll post the bets as we go along. during the day on the website. So hopefully it just keeps on building, or we suddenly come up with a decent quaddie or multi or something. I don't know. But yeah, looking forward to that. It'll be a great day's racing. And 131st year, is it?
31st year of the Punter of the Year, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
You ever gone close?
No. Been on the leaderboard with 2 races to go.
Yeah.
That was about as close as I got, so top 10 with 2 races to go, but never really threatened the scorers, shall we say.
Yeah.
But it must mean we're getting closer to a chance of doing that. But it would definitely be the hardest gallops punters competition in New Zealand to win, with the biggest field and certainly, shall we say, the heavy hitters coming out to play.
Yeah.
But it is a good old day, that's for sure.
Now, all you'd want to do is do your homework, have that little lady luck on your shoulder, and the right prices, and you never know. That's all it takes. But like in most comps, say it really changes after that last race is run with quaddies and multis, etc. That all come in. No, it's going to be a great week of racing tomorrow. Oh, I haven't touched on BT Junior. $1.85.
Oh.
Can he win? Yes or no?
Well, of course he can win. He should win.
You think so? Wouldn't you?
Biswinkle's a fair horse. I think he's the main danger. I don't think I've ever had a horse paying $1.80 in a gallops race, Neil. Feels a bit strange. There'd probably be more relief in winning than exhilaration, but hey, he's a good, honest campaigner. That's all you can ask for in a horse. He tries hard every time.
Yeah.
You would like to think he'd go close to winning, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, the horse to beat is Biswinkle, obviously, but unless one of the owners rides him, I really can't see. Well, it's going to be those two should fight it out. A little weight advantage for Biswinkle, but good luck, Pedro. But I think BT, this is his day, and racing is a strange thing, isn't it? So
sure can be.
Yep, and a decent track there tomorrow, so we'll see how it plays out. Anyway, everybody, good luck, good punting, and we'll catch up with you next Friday.